So what we'll be covering today, there's really 4 questions that I hope that we have answered by the end of this. And this is really, 1, why should you care about this at all? Why did you join this webinar series today? 2 would be, what does LinkedIn offer for search and staffing firms? I'll be giving you a lot of information here that's not even made available online. So we have a full team dedicated to the search and staffing industry that we don't even advertise our products because we hold the exclusivity that only you can take advantage of these. And so I want to make sure that we're crystal clear in what we do offer for people with your priorities, your initiatives, your challenges. And then 3, how would we implement this into your current strategy? So as we're going through how we can best use the LinkedIn network, start to think about how we could augment this into your current strategy and how that would then help make your life easier, hopefully make you more placements. And then lastly, what would this look like if I took Lauren's recommendations? So how would this benefit both me and my business? And so before you take any of my recommendations, I want to first explain a little bit about who I am and hopefully add a little bit of credibility. So I've been with LinkedIn for over 2 years now, always been working on the search staffing side of the business. Started out working with more small business, anywhere between 1 to 10 recruiters in size, but now I'm moving up into the larger firms. So the team that I've been on, collectively, we have over 100 years of staffing experience. My manager alone spent over a decade at Robert Half. He was using these tools when he was in the trenches of recruiting himself. And so LinkedIn actually headhunted him into our business to then take what made Robert Half so successful, take those strategies, and then consult to the small business, mid-sized staffing owner on, how we can best leverage these strategies to then grow your business, make you just as successful. And so with that, I've worked in a variety of different industries, geographies. I pretty much heard it all in the search and staffing industry, coming from my colleagues, my peers, my clients. And so hopefully with all of that, we can then build some strategies for your business specifically. So then if there's one thing that I really wanted to take away from this is that there's new strategies using data and insights to grow your business. So when LinkedIn was founded 15 years ago, we were never set out to be a data company. We were built as a professional network. We still are to this day, but however, over the course of the 15 years, we've collected so much data on the talent pool. If you think about every single professional, almost everyone that you find, they exist on LinkedIn. And so now we're thinking about how are they using their LinkedIn network, their LinkedIn profiles, what jobs are they looking at, how are they really presenting themselves to then relay that back to you to build strategies around. So new strategies using data and insights are how you win. So with that, working with probably over 200 search and staffing firms since my tenure here at LinkedIn, there's really 3 common challenges that we hear across the board. So one is that there's competition for candidates. That's no surprise. Everyone knows that unemployment rates are the lowest they've ever been. Everyone knows that it's a candidate's market right now, and so the competition for candidates is definitely probably the number 1 challenge. Among that, since it's a candidate market, then your clients have increasing demand. So they're coming to you, they're having trouble finding people, therefore you're having trouble finding people for them. So competition for candidates, increasing client demand, which then brings us into our 3rd challenge, which is there's a pressure to differentiate strategies and implement new tools. There's new technologies emerging daily, so how do you decide what we should be capitalizing on in order to drive the highest profit? And so then thinking about all the data that LinkedIn collects, again, I will present to you kind of what this looks like in terms of demo, but first I want to show you why this is so valuable and really the power behind all of this data. So how we built the tools that we built and why we built them. So if you think about all of the data that we're collecting and why that's important to you would be that you're winning with your candidates. It's a candidates market. We have over 610 million professionals on the platform. Therefore, we're tracking where their years of experience, what companies they're going to, what colleges they're emerging from, who's really fostering this talent so that you can win on the candidate side, which then helps you grow your business. So if you have better quality candidates, then maybe you get more clients. Maybe you can then deepen your client relationships, use this competitive intel to differentiate among your competition. A couple different ways that we can then use this data, and really it's it's amazing how much data that we've collected in the 15 years that we've been in business. So 610 million members, 2 members per second, that's 7,000 profiles per hour. It's not stopping there, which then also leads to 20 million companies. And so whether you're focused on candidate development, whether you're focused on client development, we have your people. So let's target the right people at the right time, which then will drive leads to your business. So how do we do that? So first I want to help kind of add some context and tell you a little story about my friend Kate. So this is Kate. This is what you have access to. Most people, they can see who Kate is by her LinkedIn profile. So Kate's LinkedIn profile is kind of like her digital resume. You can see where she went to school. You can see the past companies she's worked. You see her identity. How my most successful staffing firms, what they know about Kate is not only who she is, but what's happening beyond that LinkedIn profile. How active is she on LinkedIn? How is she using her profile? So not only who she is, but really what is her engagement? So what we're now tracking is every single person, all 610 million people, we're collecting data points beyond how that profile is being used. So before you reach out to Kate, we can give you a little bit of information about, how active is she on LinkedIn? What jobs is she looking at? Does she want recruiters to contact her about these new job opportunities? But really, beyond that, taking that one step further, what's her intent? What does she care about? What are her passions? And so our goal to you and our vision to you is to show you who Kate is, what she cares about, and then ultimately how you can help her based off of what she cares about. So then putting this all together, so we're trying to deliver you the highest priority, highest value leads, which then ultimately drives more revenue for your business. So really, data, I believe that data is probably our most valuable currency in the world, outside of money, obviously. So data and time. So if we can help you reach the right people at the right time with the right message, then how would that not help you drive more revenue through your business? So that's really what I want to walk you through today then, is how do we reach the right people at the right time, and how are we measuring that? So if you think about LinkedIn and the value that we can provide to your business, there's really 4 main ways. One would be ultimately recruiting. I think that's probably what you care about most. That's what puts money in your pocket. But then also you need clients to put money in your pocket in order to recruit. So we can also help on the sales side. Maybe you're trying to expand into new markets. Maybe you have a list of companies that you're looking to break into. We can help you develop and target those people as well. Maybe it's also internal talent. So if you're growing out a team, if you're expanding into new geographies, maybe you're looking to scale globally, also help you hire internally. But then also really developing your strategy and brand. So if you think about LinkedIn as well, it's a really powerful marketing vehicle. There's a way to really express both your personal brand and your professional brand across the platform. And that's really kind of, I believe, a lot of the staffing firms that I work with, that's not what their number one priority is. They're using LinkedIn to recruit. However, there's different strategies that we can put into place to really build your brand first, which then makes the recruitment part much easier. So we're taking your outbound business, turning it into more of an inbound business to then help you scale, help you make more placements. And so what I mean by that is, so who's everyone? We're recruiters. What do we want? We want leads. We sent this webinar as a lead generation and kind of a lead generation webinar, as well as candidate-driven and marketing solutions for small business. So let's chat about that. So if we think about how we can help you deliver leads, it's a funnel, right? So first, we want to help you build awareness. So using LinkedIn to target the right people at the right time with the right message. There's a variety of different ways that we can do this, which you're probably already doing some of that now. It's just being a little bit more strategic in how we're doing that. And I will jump into the platform to actually walk you through kind of tactically how we would do this, but just thinking about the why behind everything. So first, we're going to build the awareness, and then we can engage with these interested people once we've built that awareness. So we build, we engage, And then we recruit. So people are actually coming to you once they're familiarized themselves with your brand, who you are, how you can help. And what's interesting is that most staffing firms are doing this backwards. So they go into LinkedIn, they maybe get a referral, they get a job order, they see a resume, they type them into LinkedIn, they cross-reference their LinkedIn profile, they send them an email. But what happens usually is that, at least on the small to mid-sized business, that candidate sees that email. Maybe they don't know who your company is, and so they're going to be doing a lot of research before they actually return that email or before they decide to work with you. And so the more that we can do to help build your brand, the easier it'll be then, and the higher response rate you'll receive once you send that email for them to actually express interest and want to work with you. And so that leads us into the candidate journey. And so this is really a table that shows you, once you send that email or once you try to recruit, once you send a prospect message, whatever the case may be, it goes from a series of, what is this message? I've never heard of this company before. Maybe you have, but not entirely sure of what they do. But then the more that we can get your name in front of people, the more of a likeliness that you have that they're at the top of the chart saying, where do I sign? And so the different solutions that LinkedIn offers, sponsored updates, which we'll talk about here in a second, as well as recruiter professional services, that's our sourcing database. And then there's a series of, job slots and career pages that we'll also cover that really help you build that awareness, engage that awareness, and then ultimately help you recruit. So those are the candidate leads. So let's actually walk through how all of this works together. Before I do that, I'm going to jump quickly into the blue jeans, make sure that there are any questions. There aren't so far. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to go ahead and chat into that function there. But I'll go ahead then and share my screen so we can walk through what this looks like on LinkedIn itself. So here's the LinkedIn platform, right? So this is the first thing that someone sees once they log in. They'll see the news feed. This second piece of content, this is always targeted. They're actually sponsoring this ad to myself. So they've identified myself as their target market, which makes sense, right? This is Sales Loft. They're trying to sell me looks like a tutorial or a book about top performing sales reps. And so then it's a call to action as well. So there's companies, I've seen companies promote maybe a piece of thought leadership, which is something that SalesLoft is doing here. As a staffing firm, I've seen companies promote the different jobs they have for sales. I've seen one of my customers that I've worked with that had the highest click-through rates that I've ever seen. It was so simple. They had a picture of a chair with a spotlight on it, and then it said, how much is this empty seat costing you? That's it. So then when someone clicks into it, it's a call to action. So they're delivering leads then. So SalesLoft can then see, this is Lauren Furling's profile. She's clicked into my ad. She's expressed interest. Let's follow up with Lauren. If I put in my business email here, I would then receive that lead. So this is our form of lead generation. This is also just a sponsored, or this is content that you could promote right now. The difference is, even if you were to put a piece of content out there, it would show through your LinkedIn newsfeed. It would go down as more updates are surfacing. The difference with our promoted ads is that this stays here on the newsfeed. So once you identify who you're trying to reach, and then if we look and try to reach the people that are the most active, then every time that they log into LinkedIn, this is what they see. So we're delivering you more leads by, sponsoring the content here. And so then that leads us to, so there's a couple of different ways that we can build your brand. This would be sponsored content lead gen form. And this can be used for candidate and client development. As I mentioned before, the other way for just strictly candidate development would be through sponsored jobs. And so if I click into my jobs, whenever you post a job on LinkedIn, then we ask you a series of questions on who you're looking for. And so the jobs are more dynamic. It's not just a traditional job board where you tell us, you post a job and then your people are supposed to find your job. It's kind of the opposite here at LinkedIn. You post a job and then LinkedIn finds the people. So there's an algorithm built that you tell us exactly who you're looking for, the different skill sets, keywords, and then we match you to profiles that fit that criteria. So myself, I'm in sales here in Chicago at LinkedIn. I've actually put in a couple of different cities in which I'm interested in working, and so this makes sense that when I click to my job tab, I'm getting advertised to from Google, from Amazon, from Uber. I've worked in tech for the last 5 years within different sales positions, so you can see here that if you tell us you're looking for, we're trying to find you the best people. So the bigger picture then is that the people applying to your jobs are the better quality for those jobs. And they are pretty active across LinkedIn too. So not only on the job board, which is active talent, but also we integrate with Google for Jobs. So if someone were to go into Google and type in account executive jobs in Chicago, your jobs would be surfacing there. There's also the integration with Microsoft Word. Since Microsoft owns LinkedIn, we have a plugin within Word. So if someone goes to update, create a resume, your job's being surfaced there as well. But also just passive talent. So people use LinkedIn for a variety of different reasons, whether that's networking with colleagues, whether that's downloading content like sales loft material. And so as they're just browsing LinkedIn, we can start to push that job to them, whether it's on a profile or as a banner ad. They average about 4,000 eyeballs per month. Your job is being shown to the highest quality of candidates. So that will also deliver you leads in that respect. People apply to your jobs, you'll get their personal emails, their phone numbers. But then bringing this full picture into how you would use this to recruit, this is called our LinkedIn Recruiter or Recruiter Professional Services, which is our small business offering of LinkedIn Recruiter. And so not only are people looking at your content, they're applying to your jobs, but also now within this search, we can see who's looking at your content, we can see who's looking at your jobs, and we can see who's actually open to do job opportunities, who's actually active across the platform, which is what you don't have access to as it stands right now. Most people, or at least I believe the people that attended this webinar today. So let's just run a quick search for an account executive in Chicago. So this is sourcing through the entire LinkedIn database. We select Go. So if we think back to Kate, my friend Kate, at the beginning of the call, we not only saw who she was, but how she's using her profiles and ultimately what she cares about. So that's what we're trying to break down in this prioritizer toolbar here at the top. So LinkedIn Recruiter, the bigger picture of this is, or why this was created, is really to save you time. So before you reach out to all of these people, not really knowing where they stand, not really knowing, when's the last time they even logged into LinkedIn or they were accepted to a career conversation, we take that guesswork out of it for you to show you these are all the people on LinkedIn, but more importantly, these are the people on LinkedIn that want you to message them. And so of the 33,000, there's 3,900 that are open to a new job opportunity. And how we know this is that they've gone into their career preferences to say that they want recruiters to contact them. And so we're marketing this opportunity out so that the people on our platform know that this exists. And so what's happening is that they're going in, they're selecting in confidence that they are open to a new job opportunity. They want recruiters to contact them. And why this is so powerful is because in many cases, this is the first and only step that candidates are now taking, because it only takes a few minutes in comparison to updating your resume, applying to jobs, running the risk of your employer, seeing that resume. No one enjoys that process. Instead, they're going in, taking a couple of minutes, updating that they're open, and then getting matched by recruiters about jobs that they're a good fit for. So it's a better experience for both you and them. Everyone wins in this case because they're getting a new job. You're making money off of them getting a new job. And so when you were to go and thinking about the open too, so who they are, what they care about, we ask them a series of questions when they're open. So some of them are, what location are you interested in working? What type of work? In this case, they're looking for a full-time position. Some people do choose to fill this information out. So this is a great example. Okay, so Patricia Stender, she's a senior account executive at a marketing and advertising company. She's planning to relocate in the next 2 to 3 months to the Canton area. She's telling you her ideal start time. So this isn't made anywhere public on her profile. She's putting this in confidentially, wanting recruiters, wanting staffing firms to reach out to her. So here's the area. She's Canton, some from Columbus, I'm familiar with Canton and Akron. She's also willing to work remote, contract positions. And so really that's the beauty and the value of all of this, is that this isn't information that you can find anywhere else. She probably doesn't want her employer to know that she's looking to relocate. So this is all kind of insider information for you and for this industry. So the people that are open, this is really your hot leads. So thinking about the candidate leads, they're responding at about a 40 to 50% response rate, usually within the first 1 to 2 days of you contacting them, because they're wanting and expecting for you to reach out. And so instead of you going through messaging people kind of out of the blue, maybe more of a cold outreach, this is a warm outreach. You already know that they're open. You could start the conversation saying that you notice that they might be open to that new job opportunity. And also reaching people at scale too. So of the 3,900, it's still a pretty large number. If I were you, there's about 30 different ways that we can filter down the search. So just for sake of time and example today, we're not going to do that, but just know that, maybe we find the top 20 candidates. Maybe we want to message all 25 at one time. We can do that within this platform as well. It's all built for scale. This works as it's a BCC, so everyone would receive a very personalized message from you, not knowing it went out as almost like a campaign. This is kind of like a sponsored email, but we could reach candidates. And really this is built to show you kind of everything that we spoke about before. So who's engaging with your talent brand, meaning once we've built that awareness, once we've started to engage with that awareness, now we can filter by people who already know you as a company, people that might have already applied to your job, people that are connected to either you or others from your company, so you can start to leverage your own personal networks, engage with your talent brand, meaning they've either commented, liked, shared any of your posts. So not only are we showing you everyone that exists, but also who's active, who's more likely to respond, who's actually open, being your hottest lead, and then who's actually familiar with you as a company. If they're familiar with who you are, what you do, again, more likely to get back to you. Hopefully we're able to beat out competition, submit people at a faster rate, and then ultimately make more placements because of that. All right, so with all of that being said, I think that's pretty much it as a high level of how all of this works together. Recruiter Professional, this is the tool that almost this has been around for about 2 years now. This is our most powerful product, but everything really feeds into this. And so this is a separate database prioritizing who our leads are, but then taking those steps before this to make this as powerful as possible. So building out your brand, marketing your company, posting those jobs, and then build that awareness so that way this is all accessible under this kind of separate dashboard to make the sourcing much faster. So we'll stop there. It looks like we're about 30 minutes on the dot, which is great. I didn't want to take up the full 60 minutes, and I did want to save some time if there were any questions, anything that you wanted clarification on. There is a chat function on the side if you wanted to enter those in. Or if you want to unmute your line really fast to ask the question, then you can do that as well. And it's okay if there aren't. So my colleague Connor and I will be following up. I know that Fridays are tough to find time, and it's towards the end of the week and looking forward to the weekend. So I appreciate everyone's time so much. Thank you for jumping onto the webinar. We hope this was helpful. A lot of this information you won't find online. It's only it's kind of like top secret for the search and staffing industry. And so thank you for also investing in yourself to learn more about different tips and strategies and just how you can best use the platform. I'm happy to schedule a one-on-one consultation. Connor can follow up with you for any questions that we have yet to answer, or instead of making this more, holistic to apply to the masses, I'm happy to actually tailor this toward you and your business, your priorities, your challenges. And so happy to schedule one-on-one time. Won't need any longer than another 30 minutes, but other than that, then I hope this was helpful. All of our products here, any more questions, then just feel free to let us know. All right, thanks everyone.